Welcome to The Matrix. Today, August the 4th, 2020. Find the area of a sector. So yesterday we found the area of the length of an arc. Okay, an arc is like a piece of pizza crust that you didn't eat. A sector is the shape of a slice of pizza. So if we look up here, this shape right here, like when you slice a piece of pie or take a slice of a circular pizza, that slice in mathematics is called a sector. To find the area of a sector, we use this formula. The area A is equal to 1/2 the radius squared times the angle, and the angle has to be expressed in radians. When we find the area is expressed in square units, so square inches, square feet, square centimeters, square miles, square meters, etc. All right, the letter A denotes the area. Okay, the letter R is the radius, and this is the Greek letter theta, and that stands for the angle. Find the missing quantity, round your answer to 3 decimal places. So when we're talking 3 decimal places, you got your decimal and then you've got 3 places, and you're going to look at the 4th place to figure out, are you going to round it up or are you going to round it down? So here's where we look. So if this number is a 5, we round up. Okay, if this number is from 0 to 4, we keep it the same. We're not going to change this 3rd value. All right. So plug into the formula and then solve for whatever variable or letter is left over. Okay? So in this first example, we're starting with area. We want to find the area. We know the radius and the angle. So I know the radius and I know the angle. So the angle is half a rad. Well, if we look up here, a half a rad would be 0.5. So our sector is going to look something like that. 10, and then this angle in there is half a rad. So we substitute into the formula. So I substitute it in, and now I just do the math. So I'm going to do my exponent first, 10 squared. So I got 1/2 times 10 squared, that's 100. I'm going to turn it into a fraction so I can multiply all these out, and now I end up with 100 divided by 4, so this is going to be 25, and we're talking about our next. Now we're asking to find the radius if we know the angle and the area. So I'm going to substitute into my sector formula and then solve it for the variable r. Okay, so I substituted in, I don't know r, so that stays r squared, and I know my radius, or my angle is 1/3. So to simplify this, I multiply my 2 fractions. Now to get rid of that fraction, I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. == r squared, and to get r, I take the square root. So now evaluate the square root of 12. To 3 decimal places, 3.4641, so the 1 says leave that alone, and my unit for radius is feet. Is We don't know what the angle is. We know what the area is. So this is an find the angle given the radius in an area. So I wrote this in blue because it's a different type of question than find the area and find the radius. This one is find the angle. So we start by substituting into our sector formula, and now we solve this for the variable theta. So I end up with 1/2 times 5 squared, which is 25, times theta. Okay, I want to get rid of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 2. That gets rid, because that's my denominator, and it's just a little easier to deal with now. So I have 6 equals 25 times the angle. So to get our angle, we're going to divide by 25. So I have 6 over 25. That is our angle, and that is equal to radians. Now our instructions say round the answer to 3 decimal places. Okay, so we take our calculator and we do 6 divided by 25. And that doesn't go out to 3 decimals, it's just 2. So my third decimal is going to be a 0. 240 radians. All right, our next example, you notice I wrote it in red because it's just like our first example. Find the area given the radius and angle. What makes this one different is theta is written in degrees. So before I use my formula, I'm going to convert from degrees to radians. So I'm going to take my 30 and multiply it by pi over 180 and divide by 10. I get 3 pi over 18, and then I can divide both by 3 and get 1 pi over 6. So this right here is pi over 6. So we're going to substitute that in to our area formula. Do my exponent first. 2 squared, 4. Turn that into a pi straight across the top and straight across the bottom. So the numerator of here is going to be 1 times 4 times pi, and the denominator is going to be 2 times 1 times 6, 12. This is an area problem, so it's going to be measured in this case, square inches. I can reduce this to pi over 3 because of the 4. And now to convert that into a decimal to 3 places, pi divided by 0.471. The 1 is going to tell me what to do. That's less than 5, so leave the 7 alone. And I write my answer is 1 47/thousandths. And we're dealing in square. When you're working on your Math Excel that goes with this assignment, each problem is going to fit into one of these 4 categories. It's either going to be an area, find the area if you know the radius and angle, find the radius if you know the angle in the area, find the angle if you know the radius in the area, and then find the area, but it's given to you in degrees, your angle, so you have to first convert. All right, these next 4 problems are just like the ones that we did on the front. So if you want to, pause the video here, and when you turn it on, you can check your solution. All right, here's the back. See how you did? You have, I did problems 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, the last 2 are no different than the previous ones, except you're given a description of it in terms of a word problem. So a water sprinkler sprays water over a distance of 30 feet while rotating through an angle of 135 degrees. So before we do anything, we're going to convert this 135 into radians. So our angle here is the same as 3 pi over 4. Now we substitute it into our area formula, and there we are substituted in and simplified. Our last problem is find the angle given the area and the radius. So we substitute into our formula. Okay, the radius is 15 times 15 is 225. So to solve this, I want to get theta by itself. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. That gets rid of the fraction. Divide by 225. Divide that on my calculator and round it 208. It's 8 repeating, so to 3 decimal places. And we're talking about, so that's almost 1 rad. Remember, a rad. So there's 0.8. All right, you should be able to go ahead now and do Math Excel 2.1 Section E. Find the area of a sector. See you next time.